Hello, this is Titanosaurus Productions, and today I will be reviewing Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, this is a very popular series, I know, created by Hideki Anno, was it? Yeah, I believe it was. And if you don't know what it is, go look it up, because you probably know the plot already if you're here. And if you don't, look it up. I will mention when spoilers arise in this video. For the most part it will be spoiler free. I guess, I don't know. We'll switch off between pros and cons. So let's start with a pro, which is the animation. And we'll combine this with the con, which is also animation. Now, the thing with this is sometimes the animation just looks like a picture with music or sound effects playing in the background. And sometimes it looks better than stuff we see today. Yeah, it's very hard to describe how that is. Then we have, the characters. Or you know what? We have to do, something. We have to do another pro, which is the monsters. The monsters of the series, the kaiju, the angels, they're very different. They're all very different. Well, sometimes they look a little bit similar, but really they're all just these different creatures, and yeah, they have it allows for some interesting fight scenes to happen, which are a really big standout for the series. Fights between the Evas and these other monsters, but this is nothing like your average like Saturday morning cartoon. This is like deep crap. But the monsters, the angels all are very distinct, and I like most of them. Some of them look kind of stupid to me, though, like that weird diamond one, just like a big prism. Then we have the next con, which is going to be characters. I didn't like a lot of the characters. I found most of them to be unlikable. A lot of them had, not most of them. It was just like mainly the main ones. You got Shinji, Shinji, Asuka, Rei. What was that woman's name with the purple hair? You know who I'm talking about. She wears like the red jacket. I don't remember her name. That's how. I watched this series like a year ago, but I still got it fresh in my mind. I just forgot like character names and stuff like that, but I remember most of what happened. So yeah, every character has problems, and it like weighs the characters down so much. I'm not gonna go over all of them, but just like, for example, I like the idea of Shinji being like afraid. You would be afraid if you had to pilot a giant robot and save the world from giant monsters, but you see, I like the concept. The concept is really good, and that's the next thing. The concept. That's the next pro. But yeah, in the end, Shinji does end up coming off as whiny, and you don't really. I just found him kind of annoying at some times. The concept and its realism, it really is a great idea, and the problem for me, though, is it wasn't executed in the way I would have liked, where instead of a giant robot, we have a giant cyborg, and that cyborg is very different from a giant robot. It is a living thing, and it causes a lot of problems for Shinji, and I probably would have preferred it if we had Shinji just piloting a regular giant robot. But yeah, the characters, there were characters I liked, but they were usually minor characters, like the people that worked for Nerve, whatever you want to call it. Shinji's classmates weren't that bad, and then yeah, then there was, what's his name? Kaji? The guy with the, like, hair, and he was, like, planting stuff. Spoiler alert. Um, he died, so that's not... I mean, mostly everyone dies. I think. We'll get into that later. Or you know what? We can get into it right now. The endings. The endings were very confusing to me. The ending of the show and the movie, the End of Evangelion. Because the ending of the show is different from End of Evangelion. They're two different endings. You basically get to choose which one is the ending. And the first ending, the TV ending, I was very confused at what happened. You know, the show, I was hoping for some more action, like a big finale where Shinji would win the day and redeem himself, and it would be a big happy ending, and everybody would, Shinji would conquer his fears. And then End of Evangelion came around, and he didn't conquer his fears, and the whole world was destroyed. Yeah, it just made me feel incredibly depressed, but that is kind of the point of this show. And there's so much, like, merchandise for this show, and so many things that just don't seem like they should exist, because this show is very depressing. And they make so much merchandise for this, like, with all the characters looking happy, but is that really the reality of the show? No, it isn't. Yeah, then I guess we come to the soundtrack, which is really good. Theme song. I don't really think "Fly Me to the Moon" is a good. Say what you want, but I don't think "Fly Me to the Moon" is a good song to end an episode with. This series is just like too depressing, and then there's like little light bits of comedy, which I just think are really weird because the show's so depressing. But the soundtrack is really good. Like the orchestral like themes, like "Decisive Battle," I think is a great piece of soundtrack. There's lots of other great pieces in there too, but the whole soundtrack's really good, especially the theme song. Again, the theme song I don't think quite fits the series. It's very upbeat, but it's good, so it doesn't matter. And then we come to the final one, which is the plot, I guess. The plot is just very random, and by the time the series ended, I felt like I had more questions than answers. And the movie, I watched the movie and even more questions. And now I have to watch Evangelion explained videos on YouTube. So in the end, this series was it was very good and bad at the same time for me, leaving me with a mixed feelings for this series. I don't really know if I can even give this a rating. It's very, like, it's not average, but it's really good and really bad. I'm gonna give this a confused out of 10. So if you want to go see Evangelion, go watch it. It's very all over the place. I'll probably do a video ranking the angels from Evangelion if I get the chance one day, but yeah, this is my review for the show. My final thoughts. That's going to be it for this video. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.